Hello po, my name is Joshua Pisunga from BSc second year -1. Ngayon po, pag-uusapan po natin yung parts ng analog camera. First is the lens. Lens reflect light from outside towards the back of the camera and creates a reverse upside down image on the film at the back of the camera. Next is the focusing ring. Focusing ring allows the photographer to create a sharp image of the object. Next is f-stops, which allows light to come in. Next is rewind lever. This is connected on the film rewind knob and crank. It holds the long spoon core inside the film cartridge chamber. Next is hot shoe. It is where the film, the flash bulb is inserted for indoor photography. Next is shutter speed indicator, iOS selector. Adjusted it with the sensitivity of the film to light. Next is film advance. It's a mechanism for moving film from one spoon to another incrementally one frame at a time. And lastly, the shutter, which mechanism that regulates the amount of the light reaching the film. So, punta naman po tayo sa back ng analog camera. First is viewer, a viewing instrument attached to a camera used to obtain proper composition. Next is film compartment. It holds the film inside the camera. Next is rewind button. This is connected on the film rewind knob and crank. It holds the long spool core inside the film. Next is take-up spool. It pulls the film along so an exposed film can be placed behind the shutter. And lastly, the camera back is a cover to protect the parts of analog camera inside. So ngayon po, pag-uusapan naman po natin yung parts ng front ng digital camera. First po is the hot shoe. Mainly for mounting the external flash. Next is mirror. Is used to allow the photographer to see the image through the viewfinder. Next is strap plug. Strap plug is to keep the cameras from free falling. Next is X-Sync socket, a mode designed for use with electronic flash. Next is AF coupler, is the function of the cameras to automatically focus on a subject. Next is lens information contact. A pins make contact with electronic contacts inside the camera body. Next is lens unlock button. Unlocks the lens mount and allows you to detect the lens. Next is lens mount index. Is a mark on the lens mount that helps you to attach the lens securely to the camera body. Next is cord cover. Cord cover is to cover the cords inside the camera. And lastly, the self-timer lamp or remote control receiver is a customizable setting that prevents the shutter from immediately releasing when you press the shutter release button. So, yung back naman po ng digital camera. First is LCD panel. LCD panel is to view images and set different modes. Next is viewfinder. Viewfinder is a small rectangular opening. You can see through this window to compose the shot. Next is self-timer lamp remote control receiver. Is a parameter that can be altered to stop the shutter from releasing as soon as the shutter release button is pressed. Next is card cover unlock lever to cover the memory card of the camera. Next is card access lamp, an indicator to show that the camera is accessing or writing the memory card. Next is the monitor. Is a monitor that attached externally to a digital camera to aid with photography and cinematography. Next is terminal cover. Is the battery door cover lid protector. Next is DC input terminal. An adapter will interface the DC source and the camera battery. Next is USB video terminal. It's a USB device class that describes device capable of streaming video like webcams, digital camcorders, and etc. Next is cable switch. It's an useful device when you want to fire the shutter but not want to touch the camera. Next is built-in flash. Our flash units constructed within the main camera body. And lastly, the diopter adjustment lever allows you to customize the viewfinder so that you can see a clear focus image in the viewfinder.